Good, hit your spots, stay solid. Don't let the hips sag. Tight through the middle. Nice. Solid, dude. I don't think you'd be able to do those like 4 months ago.
No, definitely not.
Like not only do them, but do them well. Like your hips and shoulders are staying tight. There's no sag. It's great.
No shot.
There was this advisor, consultant, I forget his name, but when he goes into these corporations or teams, he works business and sport. He filters executive leadership down to like water boy in different intensities. But he's like, how are they prepared in 3 categories to do what they've been hired to do in 3 buckets? One is physical preparedness, tactical preparedness, and psychological preparedness. And that looks different for department or personnel. How does it apply to like a CEO?
Well, the physical is hard.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about this all the time, like the day is long and it's jam-packed and it's intense.
Yeah.
And so your mind has to be ready to tackle all the stuff, but your mind can only go so far as your body.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to eat junk food. It's easy to be over caffeinated. It's really, really easy. All that stuff feeds into a cycle of just being tired all the time.
Yeah.
And then you're operating on subprime mental levels. It's the reason why on all our floors we have stand-up desks and we tell them, get up, get the blood pumping, move. Yeah. You cannot be seated for 6 hours, slumped in a chair and expect to perform as if you're up and moving.
Right.
This doesn't work. It doesn't work. And they're all interrelated. None of it's in a vacuum.
Sure.
You don't have the physical without the psychological. You definitely don't have the tactical without the psychological. The physical feeds into it. So it's really all about balance.
You can't say the body doesn't impact the mind.
No, and you can't remove one from the other.
Right. Like if you're brand new to everything, where would you start?
I think the body. The body has such a direct correlation to everything else.
Sure. Yeah.
The body.
Keep hips on. Core is on. Nice. Good. 1, 2. I assume that the challenge is also like saying yes to this also means saying no to
a lot of other things.
A million other things.
Yeah, but it really depends on what you're prioritizing and why.
Sure.
So saying yes to this, I'm probably saying yes to a lot of other things later.
So that's an interesting point because 1 workout or even like 7 workouts, there's not a lot of like immediate feedback, whether it's I'm like exponentially stronger,
no,
I'm less body fat. How do you reconcile like I'm gonna do this hard thing and maybe get a reward later on?
Yeah, that's tough. That's definitely tough, especially in a society that's so ingrained and focused on instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to wait 2 days for stuff on Amazon anymore.
Right.
It's really tough.
Yep.
You just gotta have your eyes on the goal. And the goal, you know, that shredded looking athlete or whatever, he didn't just wake up like that.
Sure.
It took a lot of time.
Yep.
It took a lot of time, a lot of pain, a lot of losses. You know, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. But you definitely can't measure on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Does that transfer to business, that principle?
Same thing. And it's probably the hardest because business is so cash consumptive.
Yeah.
It's just consuming. So you're waiting for money to come in. But you got to have your eyes on the goal.
For you personally, hey, what's up, man?
No, you're good. You're totally good.
Do you have to think about that or is that how you're built?
I think anyone who says that they're built like that is full of it. I think the truly exceptional leaders remind themselves constantly and are just constantly in a state of reminder.
Yeah.
We're all weak, broken men.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that keep figuring out that they need to keep figuring it out.
So it doesn't stop.
No, it never stops. And I don't believe that it ever will. It stops when you're dead. Then there's no more need for any kind of growth.
Nice, good. People are interested in how to be still while doing cool shit. Whether that's running a business, raising a family, or both, or going back to school, whatever it is, like, I think you can be still and still be in tons of action. I think you can carry that spirit.
Without a doubt.
It's a tall order.
It's a very tall order. Depends on what you define as stillness.
Sure.
The easiest definition is just like a calm disposition.
Yeah.
Some people would define stillness as this perpetual contentness.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a stillness there.
Yeah.
Because if you're content all the time, it's not that you don't have ambitions, but there's nothing that you're lacking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're content all the time, it's not that you're not growing or learning from mistakes, is that you don't regret the mistakes of your past. You're still about it, right?
Yeah.
And there's a huge power, I think, in stillness, being able to recalibrate you every day. Kind of like what we're talking about, which is just figuring it out every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we get preoccupied with stuff and possessions and a lot of material things.
Yeah.
Just material in general.
Sure.
There's a great lack of stillness in that.
Yeah. The narrative of like, do no harm at all costs bleeds into like building a healthy ego.
Sure.
What do you think about like telling younger people, like go out and get it, go out and do it, make some mistakes so you know? Because if you don't, how do you actually internalize?
Again, it's a balance. It really is tough. Like, I think I will tell my children, do no harm at all costs.
Sure.
Some things are only going to be learned through mistakes and heartache and pain.
Yeah.
So although I wish and pray he doesn't have to go through that stuff, she doesn't have to go through that stuff, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
But on the same token, do no harm at all costs.
Yeah.
You're saving a lot more for yourself and the other party, and it's not worth it. So many destroyed relationships, so many regrettable instances based on needing to have the other upper hand. It's terrible.
Generally, let's start with physical. What's going well?
Prioritizing the movement, just getting active every day.
Yeah.
Just making sure it gets done. And it's hard. People don't have time. The average American worker, they gotta go to work and they gotta come back. They come back from work, they're exhausted. It's tough. It really is. But it's important. Appreciate you.